A single courtroom decision can send shockwaves far beyond the walls of the courthouse, rippling across cities, states, and even the entire nation. The power of the law is not just in the verdict itself, but in the way it shapes public opinion, influences future cases, and redefines what justice means for everyone. When a judge or jury speaks, their words can become a catalyst for change, sparking debates and inspiring new policies that affect millions. This was especially true in the recent landmark case against Uber, held in the heart of San Francisco. The city, known for its innovation and as a hub for tech giants, became the stage for a legal battle that would capture the attention of the entire country. The courthouse steps were crowded with reporters, advocates, and everyday citizens, all waiting to hear the outcome of a case that could change the way we think about ride-sharing forever. This trial was the first of its kind in California, and it represented not just a handful of plaintiffs, but countless individuals who had experienced trauma while using Uber. Their stories, often unheard, were finally given a platform. The courtroom became a place where survivors could seek justice, and where the public could witness the real human impact of corporate decisions. The case highlighted the urgent need for better protections and accountability in the rapidly growing gig economy. At the heart of the trial was a critical question: who should be held responsible for passenger safety in rideshare vehicles? Is it the drivers, the companies that connect them to passengers, or a combination of both? As ride-sharing becomes an everyday part of modern life, these questions are more important than ever. The outcome of this case would set the tone for how similar incidents are handled in the future, not just in California, but across the nation. When the verdict was finally read, it sent a clear message: corporations operating in the tech-driven world must be held accountable for the safety of their users. The decision established a new legal precedent, one that could influence how other tech companies approach safety, responsibility, and transparency. Legal experts and advocates hailed the verdict as a turning point, while companies across the industry began to reevaluate their own policies. As the dust settles from this historic case, the conversation about safety and responsibility in the gig economy is only just beginning. Lawmakers, companies, and the public are now faced with tough questions about how to balance innovation with the need to protect individuals. The verdict has sparked new discussions about the rights of gig workers, the obligations of tech platforms, and the role of government oversight in a rapidly changing world. Ultimately, this case forces all of us to reconsider our expectations of tech companies and their role in our daily lives. As technology continues to evolve, so too must our understanding of safety, accountability, and justice. The echoes of this verdict will be felt for years to come, shaping the future of the gig economy and the responsibilities of those who power it. To truly grasp the impact of the trial and what it represents, we need to step back and understand the story of the woman at its very center, Jessica C. Her journey is not just a headline or a case number, but a deeply personal account of trauma, resilience, and the pursuit of justice. Jessica was, in many ways, like any other 18-year-old college student, full of hope, ambition, and excitement for the future. She had just started her first year at university, eager to embrace new experiences and opportunities. But one night in December 2016 would change the course of her life forever. After a late study session, Jessica ordered an Uber to get home safely, trusting the convenience and security promised by the app. But what was supposed to be a routine ride quickly turned into a nightmare. The driver, Farouk Kazim, violated that trust in the most horrific way, assaulting Jessica during the ride. In a matter of minutes, her sense of safety and control was shattered. In court, Jessica bravely took the stand to testify about the assault. She recounted the terrifying events in detail, her voice steady, but her pain evident. Her testimony painted a vivid picture of the fear and helplessness she felt that night, and the courage it took to relive those moments in front of strangers. The assault only stopped when Jessica's phone rang, a random, almost miraculous interruption that startled the driver and gave her a chance to escape. That phone call, seemingly insignificant, may have saved her life. It's a chilling reminder of how fate can intervene in the darkest moments. The trauma Jessica endured didn't end that night. In the weeks and months that followed, she struggled with nightmares, anxiety, and overwhelming fear. She was diagnosed with PTSD, and the weight of her experience became too much to bear. Ultimately, she made the difficult decision to leave college, putting her dreams on hold as she focused on healing. With the support of her family and a dedicated legal team, Jessica decided to seek justice, not just for herself, but for others who might face similar dangers. Her lawyers pursued damages, hoping to hold those responsible accountable and to acknowledge the profound suffering Jessica had endured. Jessica's story is a stark reminder of the vulnerability that comes with trusting a stranger through an app. Ride-sharing services have become a part of daily life for millions, but her experience exposes the risks that can lurk behind the promise of convenience and safety. By sharing her story publicly, Jessica gave a voice to countless others who have felt unsafe or silenced. Her courage inspired other survivors to come forward, and her willingness to speak out has helped to break the stigma around reporting such crimes. This case also highlights the immense responsibility that companies like Uber have in ensuring the safety of their users. It raises important questions about background checks, driver accountability, and the systems in place to protect passengers. Jessica's testimony was not just about seeking justice for herself. It was a stand for everyone who has ever felt vulnerable or afraid while using a service meant to provide safety. Her words echoed through the courtroom, resonating with survivors everywhere. Her story is a powerful reminder that corporate policies and decisions have real-world consequences. The choices made in boardrooms can deeply affect the lives of individuals, sometimes in ways that are impossible to predict. Jessica's case challenges all of us to demand more from the companies we trust with our safety. It calls for greater transparency, stronger protections, and a commitment to putting people before profits. In the end, Jessica's bravery has sparked a vital and ongoing conversation about safety, accountability, and the power of one voice to create change. Her journey reminds us that behind every headline is a human story, and that real progress begins when we choose to listen. The trial was a clash over responsibility. Jessica C's team argued Uber should meet high safety standards like public transport. They claimed Uber prioritized growth over passenger safety. The lack of in-car cameras and thorough driver vetting were highlighted. Uber's transparency on assault statistics was questioned. The case aimed to shift focus from the driver to Uber's corporate responsibility. The goal was to establish a precedent for holding Uber accountable for passenger safety. This trial sought to redefine the legal expectations of rideshare companies. After 3 days of deliberation, the jury's verdict was complex and nuanced. They had to weigh the evidence carefully, considering both the actions of the driver and the policies of Uber as a company. They found Uber negligent, but not liable for Jessica C's assault. This distinction was crucial and had significant implications for the case and future legal precedents. The jury agreed that Uber's safety measures were insufficient and did not adequately protect passengers. They noted that while the app had some safety features, they were not enough to prevent the incident. However, they concluded the assault was the driver's independent act, separate from Uber's direct control. This was a pivotal point in their decision-making process. This verdict absolved Uber of financial responsibility, meaning they would not have to pay damages to Jessica C. or her family. It was a significant relief for the company, but a disappointment for the victim. It created a legal distinction between negligence and liability, highlighting the complexities of corporate responsibility. This case would likely be studied in law schools and legal circles for years to come. The decision left many feeling justice was not fully served. Jessica C's supporters and advocates for victims' rights were particularly vocal about their dissatisfaction. The verdict acknowledged a problem, but stopped short of full accountability. It was a bittersweet outcome that recognized the issue but did not provide a complete solution. It highlighted the challenges in proving corporate negligence directly causes harm. This case underscored the difficulties in holding large companies accountable for the actions of their independent contractors. This outcome left victims without the compensation they sought. Many felt that the legal system had failed to provide adequate remedies for those harmed by corporate negligence. The verdict sparked debate on corporate responsibility in the gig economy. It raised questions about how companies like Uber should be regulated and what measures should be in place to protect consumers. Uber's defense distanced the company from the driver's actions. They argued the assault was unforeseeable and isolated. The driver passed all required background checks. Uber highlighted its safety features and response to the incident. They argued assaults are rare compared to the volume of rides. Uber positioned itself as a technology platform, not liable for drivers' actions. The defense aimed to define the limits of Uber's responsibility. This strategy sought to protect Uber from liability for independent contractor actions. The verdict left a stark divide between the two sides. Jessica C's attorney expressed profound disappointment. He saw the verdict as a setback for victim advocacy. The legal distinction felt like an injustice to many. Uber's response was measured, focusing on safety improvements. They promised ongoing efforts to raise safety standards. Uber aimed to reassure users of their commitment to safety. The company's message was clear. The fight for public trust continues. The verdict highlighted the ongoing struggle for corporate accountability. The verdict impacts thousands of similar lawsuits against Uber. It provides Uber with a mixed victory, complicating future cases. The finding of negligence but no liability strengthens Uber's position. This could pressure victims to accept smaller settlements. The case highlights the use of bellwether trials in large litigations. The verdict influences the trajectory of other cases in California. The next test is the federal bellwether trial in January 2026. The outcome will shape the legal battle and set future precedents. This case underscores the challenges in holding companies accountable. Uber has taken steps to improve safety since Jessica C's assault. Features like the in-app emergency button and ride check enhance safety. Uber now conducts annual background checks and monitors criminal data. These measures aim to ensure driver reliability and passenger safety. Critics argue more stringent requirements are needed. The verdict amplifies calls for greater accountability. Uber's commitment to safety is questioned as they fight liability in court. The public demands accountability, not just new app features. The verdict marks a new chapter in the fight for rideshare safety. It raises questions about corporate responsibility in the modern economy. The decision challenges victims to prove direct links between policy and harm. The upcoming federal trial could change the legal landscape. This case ignites a broader conversation about safety in the gig economy. Companies face pressure to prioritize safety and transparency. The path forward involves legal battles, advocacy, and potential legislation. The journey toward accountability is crucial for millions' safety and well-being.